If you're planning your next holiday, make sure to cross these destinations off your list. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 places you are not allowed to visit. For this list, we're looking at those places that bar the general public from visiting. However, we are not including places that run group tours, although we still might recommend avoiding Chernobyl if possible.
Pretty highly contaminated.
Number 10, Bohemian Grove, California, USA.
There's no one free here. We're all slaves.
Not only does this campground restrict most of the general population from admission, it also excludes anyone who identifies as female. That's right, Monte Rio's Bohemian Grove is the site of a private male-only art club that can only be accessed by members and their guests, provided the latter pass the screening tests, that is.
This is a photograph of people who attend. As we mentioned, it is all men, and this is a photograph of some of them.
Members consist of artists, government officials, businessmen, and other VIPs who gather together every summer at the Grove and use the encampment to, well, we're not quite sure.
What most people do not know is that for more than a century, they've kicked off their retreat with a spectacular nighttime ceremony. From the air, the encampment is lit up with torches.
Not much is known about what goes on because of the club's extreme secrecy. And this has unsurprisingly garnered much controversy since the group's 1878 establishment.
Above all the sex and all that, it's the main objective of controlling the world.
While it's known to house facilities mostly for entertainment and recreational purposes, only very few people have managed to get into the Grove and report back.
Our concern is not what's going on inside of the Grove, but what's happening outside of the Grove with the people that are in here.
Number 9. Surtsey, Iceland.
Oh gosh, you're going to Surtsey. Oh, you're so lucky.
A volcanic island located just off the south coast of Iceland, Surtsey formed in a volcanic eruption that lasted nearly 4 years, from November 1963 to June 1967.
Within days, the island of Surtsey appeared above the waves.
While certain botanists and biologists are able to visit the island for scientific purposes, no other humans are allowed on the island in order to preserve its natural ecological process.
Watching life take hold of Surtsey is the closest humans had come to watching how life would have emerged on Earth.
All scientific visitors need to check their belongings before they enter to ensure that no seeds are introduced into the ecosystem. This rule was put in place after 2009, when an improperly handled human defecation resulted in a tomato plant beginning to grow. Number 8. Club 33 in Anaheim, California, USA.
And what's so cool about it, this Club 33?
Well, obviously, the exclusivity.
Located in the center of Disneyland, this club is exclusive to VIP members and has a waiting list of over 10 years. The club is the only location in Disneyland to offer alcoholic beverages during the day and is located at 33 Royal Street, right beside the Blue Bayou restaurant. To enter the club, members need to buzz an intercom, where a receptionist will grant access if the person is actually a member. The club is furnished with several props from famous Disney films, including a lavish walnut table with white marble top that was used in Mary Poppins. Number 7. Les Catacombes de Paris, Paris, France.
We're about 200 feet below the streets, and we finally made it. In French, this says, "This is the entrance to the Empire of Death."
It's in the French capital that you will encounter these underground ossuaries known as the Catacombs of Paris. Once consisting of stone mines, what's left of these are caverns, tunnels, and the remains of an estimated 6 million people, giving the catacombs the nickname of the world's largest grave. Thanks to natural human curiosity, parts of the underground cemetery became visitable in the 19th century, and they have since become part of the 14 City of Paris museums. However, what interests us here are the parts of the catacombs that have been sealed off from the public. With only some old gates blocking our paths, our minds can only imagine what lies among those tunnels and caverns that have been deemed unnavigable for public consumption. Number 6. Ilha de Queimada Grande, Brazil. The Ilha de Queimada Grande, also known as Snake Island, is a small island located off the coast of Sao Paulo. Legend claims that there are 5 snakes to every square meter, although a recent documentary stated that there is more likely to be 1 snake per square meter. The only snake species on the island is the venomous golden lancehead. Its venom is said to be up to 5 times stronger than that of any mainland viper and is capable of melting human flesh. Civilians are not allowed to visit the island. and scientists are only allowed rare trips if they receive a special waiver.
For those who work with snakes, it's very hard to go to the field and find many snakes. And in here, you don't have to walk that much and you can see many snakes. So these are special conditions you can never find anywhere else.
Number 5. North Sentinel Island, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, India. North Sentinel Island is home to the Sentinelese, a group of indigenous people with a population of somewhere between 50 and 400. They're one of the last peoples in the world to remain untouched by modern civilization and refuse any contact with outsiders. As recently as 2006, 2 fishermen were killed by the Sentinelese when their boat drifted close to the island. While peaceful contact was made during the early 1990s, the Indian government stopped sending people to the island in 1997.
We know from statistics that when you contact tribes like this, 2/3 of the population die after 2 years.
Number 4. Lascaux, France.
And in the center of this composition, they have united the 3 principal animals of Lascaux: horse, ox, and deer.
Lascaux is home to some of the best-known Upper Paleolithic art in the world. The cave paintings are estimated to be more than 17,000 years old and mostly depict big animals. The Lascaux caves have been added to the UNESCO World Heritage List and have been banned from the public since 1963, primarily because any human presence in the cave could potentially be destructive. Currently, only a handful of scientists are allowed to enter the caves, though a replica of them, called Lascaux II, was open to the public in 1983. Number 3. RAF Menwith Hill, England.
Now, it's been called the largest spy center on Earth, jointly run by the UK and the US. The Menwith Hill complex in rural England monitors the communications of dozens of other countries.
Described as one of the world's biggest, if not the biggest, electronic monitoring stations, this Royal Air Force station provides intelligence support service to the United States of America and the United Kingdom. It was originally set up to intercept messages between the Soviet Union and its allies during the Cold War, but the station is still in full operation today. In fact, several of the satellites are controlled directly by the American NSA, something that's been criticized in recent years after the Snowden leaks. Number 2. The Vatican Secret Archives, Vatican City.
This way, please.
Oh, beautiful.
The Vatican Secret Archives, found in Vatican City, contain all of the important documents that the Catholic Church has accumulated over the centuries, including state papers and papal account books. It acts as the central repository for all the acts promulgated by the Holy See. They should perhaps be called the Vatican Private Archives, however, because the documents are not actually secret. They're more like the Pope's personal property.
We are still arranged and organize the archives. And so I think that many documents are to discover.
You cannot enter the archive, however, and in order to examine a document, you need to submit a formal request. And then, if accepted, access will be supplied to you.
The personal papers of Pope John Paul II, who died in 2005, are locked away until 2080.
But only qualified scholars can actually apply. And only documents from 1939 or earlier can actually be viewed by the public.
Just a few days with this, and I could have actually finished my book.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1. Area 51, Nevada, USA.
After Lincoln County deputies arrived, the driver and passengers were pulled out, cited for trespassing, and given court dates. The projected fine, $650 apiece, and a misdemeanor conviction.
The U.S. has frequently been criticized for being highly secretive, and Nevada's Area 51 has been a hotbed for criticism and speculation for decades. While the base's primary purpose is unknown to the public, historical evidence suggests that it's been used to develop and test weapons. All research in Area 51 is considered top secret, which has made it a frequent subject of UFO folklore.
The recent sightings are in no way connected with any secret development by any agency of the United States.
Many people believe that the base is home to alien spacecraft and even alien species, while others suggest that scientists are working on time travel or teleportation devices.
Every U.S. stealth aircraft has been tested at Area 51 in one way or another.
As the base is closed to the public, speculation about the U.S. Air Force facility should only continue to grow.
Area 51? I found Area 51!
No, ma'am, this is Area 51A.
Do you agree with our list? What do you think is the most interesting place you're not allowed to visit? For more exciting top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
We may not know what projects are being developed there, but for those who have played a part in its story, the need for these secret projects is still as great as ever.